So the U.S. Navy announcing it will be lowering its test standards as it struggles to hit its recruitment goals, meeting only about 10% of it so far this year. It comes as Congress reportedly considers rolling back the military COVID vaccine mandate. One Democratic lawmaker telling Politico, does it make sense to have that policy from August 2021? That is a discussion that I am open to and that we are having. And that was Adam Smith. Fox News contributor, former Democratic Congressman Tulsi Gabbard, currently serves as lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves and served in battle before. She joined just now to react. Tulsi, really? We're still kicking out people from a military that is desperate for people for this reason?
Yeah, Brian, it makes absolutely no sense. And it just points to, frankly, the failure of leadership, both within the DOD and in politicians in Washington, including President Biden. How can they say that they have a recruiting problem without actually looking in the mirror and recognizing, hey, maybe that problem starts with me as a leader in the DOD? I know people personally, Brian, who have been kicked out of the military, some who've served 10 years, 20 years, 25 years, all because of this mandate that makes no sense and frankly is based on a lie that Fauci and others continue to propagate as they have throughout this whole thing, which is these vaccines will prevent you from catching COVID and that it will prevent you from spreading COVID. The fact that this is even a question at this point, whether or not to lift this DOD mandate and that Secretary Austin is opposing it, is just absolute madness. What to speak of the fact that you've got people like Adam Smith saying that, we won't even consider reinstating those who were kicked out under this crazy policy because people have to follow orders. It should be no question that this mandate should be lifted and those who were kicked out under this wrong-headed decision should be reinstated with back pay.
Listen, you want to do this and you want to lessen the symptoms and some of the other things. And if there is a shot out there that works, it is the American shot. I get it. Certainly not the Chinese shot. But if you get the original shot, we have 4 variants in from that shot. It's going to be totally ineffective. So what are you saying? Listen to these numbers. Army, 15,000 soldiers short. National Guard, loss of 7,500. The Navy has met only 10% of its goal. Marines, 30% of its goal. The Air Force, 10%, let alone the people we're kicking out. We know also that 3,600 Marines are facing discharge, 834 Army, Air Force, 1,800 Army members, 1,900 Navy. We need these men and women. Let's be practical for once in our governmental lives.
It just sends here's the message that it sends, Brian, is that the leaders of this country don't appreciate those who have raised their hands and volunteered to serve and lay their lives down in service to this country. That's the message that they're sending out with this. They're more concerned about, being pleasing or popular to the woke people who really think that this is the most important thing and are actually refusing to look at science than they actually care about doing what's best for people. COVID is a very real disease. It poses a great risk to vulnerable populations, and those who are concerned about it have options available to them, one of them being a vaccine. But to mandate this for the military and kick people out or not allow them to continue serving this country because of a mandate that's proven, again, that's made no sense. It's just, it's undermining what they're trying to accomplish with these recruiting goals.
It's not smallpox that erases. It's not polio that gets rid of it. This is dramatically different. It's not a matter of come one, come all. And Admiral Kirby and General Austin selling out their brethren is inexcusable. Meanwhile, in honor of the 81st anniversary of Pearl Harbor, 50 for the Fallen, a group of active duty and vet special operation forces and civilians will ruck March 50th miles around Oahu. Could you tell us about this?
Yeah, absolutely, Brian. I'm actually joining. I'm proud to support this amazing nonprofit, 50 for the Fallen. In just a few hours here, I'll be joining them as we kick off our 50-mile ruck march. It's a foot march carrying a rucksack, as we do in the military. We're going to be starting on the east side of the island and walking 50 miles straight from noon today until 6 a.m. tomorrow, ending at Ford Island on Pearl Harbor at sunrise, marking that 81st anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, remembering and honoring those who sacrificed all in service to this country, which is so important at a time right now where we have leaders in Washington who are questioning whether or not our God-given freedoms enshrined in the Constitution are even relevant anymore. We've got to remember who these people are who gave everything for this country and why, both 81 years ago and those who continue to sacrifice everything today.
Right, December 6th today and December 7th, obviously tomorrow is that day. Tulsi Gabbard is always great, and you want more of Tulsi, I know you do, go to the Tulsi Gabbard Show. It's a podcast. Get it wherever you're comfortable getting podcasts. Thanks, Tulsi. That's so great that
Thanks,
you're doing
Brian.
that today. Great. Good.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.